Ebusia and the Minister for Government Communication Felix Ofosu Kwakye and Paul Adom Oche kopiemu ewo Good Evening Ghana Metro TV show no so na first na Dr. Randy Abbey and the host show no be say no NDC for by omwetimi amano position ya chichireche as the CEO of Ghana Cocoa Board na abusia sisi de emu adwo show na so abusia no ankomo twetwe course wo ho na abusia na nya asem ketwa kra na the details ni nyina no ebro ha o TV Ghana so na abusia about the todwa from Felix Ofosu Kwakye say somewhere back in 2022 this is CID4 etimi report chichirenche bi e command na adan kwa akofo ado say ene Omo Asante Regional Chairman aye wuntumi ase Abraham no ka say ne ho ya kire na tumi say legal battle e koso no enya asem ketwa na busua CID report busua Felix Ofosu Kwakye kire ma somewhere 2022 e ba abonten kire ma omo tro koma na adodan kwakofo ado say wuntumi Galamsey anti president intake action and chebia na nam ha na president be press conference be catch say akonta mining is not engaging in illegal mining. Na bisia sa conversation we and a day ne anu baba ya course between Felix Ofosu Kwakye and Paul Adom Oche on Metro TV ekobaye because he said from the side of Wuntu Michima even on okra no for the past 3 years dear say on all lines say on with me I am mining no onye adwumada for the past 3 years do all lines iti den and nkrofo tumi ba abonten ne ba beka se no woye Galamsey ni ade so no ne concession hokra no for the last 3 years on koho inti se mako na nkrofo bi wo ho no mo ye adwuma these people are illegal miners as they said that homo kwa you can just go and do whatever they want to do at the site. Now, that is the argument I say no. Chamawun to me lawyers so he put you up abusia and I'm say no as I'm not quite chirincha say for media and so many people are claiming said this is a pure political witch hunt pa NDC for 9 and they are trying every means possible say on bit to me ajeli papa a friend no won't to me no so I call them just demonstrate so mona aban and aba power abusia and yasem ketwa kwara the details ni nyina ebe yonko ne nkɔhwɛ nkɔmɔtwetwe we ya chewa adwo comment section ase.
You see, it encapsulates the attitude of the Akufo-Addo administration and the MPP government to dealing with wrongdoing. And it's not just in the case of the Akonta Mining CID report. We saw it in the case of the Australia visa scandal. There was supposed to be a CID report that was never made public. And yet the president purported to have cleared Payo Sajidi without telling us who actually engaged in that visa racketeering. Because we do know for a fact that visa racketeering occurred. President Akufo was not willing to punish anybody for anything that they did under his government. So you pass an LI, abuse it, award mining leases to party cronies. They engage in illegal mining. The CID investigates. And then you come on national television and say that the person who has been fingered in that CID report is innocent and do nothing. We came into power.
The CID report that we are looking for.
Absolutely. The Attorney General has based charges.
The current Attorney General.
Absolutely.
But you said Akufo ignored the CID report. But when was it presented to him?
But why? No, the report doesn't have to be presented to the CID.
It goes to the President.
It goes to the Attorney General.
But the Attorney General,
no.
Dami says he hasn't seen it.
Of course, but he would deny it, wouldn't he?
Oh, so you think he's denying it?
But why? Why would he deny it? Otherwise, what other explanation exists?
So you are sure that Dami received the CID report?
I'm saying that what other... First of all, when the government of the day commissioned investigations, did Akufo-Addo not tell us that matter was being investigated? He told us. And then he came back to say that the investigations have found that he did nothing wrong. Is that not so? But I'm telling you that the CID had a report that the government was aware of, that they failed to act on.
And the former Attorney General was aware of it.
He knew it.
He says he's not aware of it.
If he didn't know it, then he didn't deserve to be in his position. Because why? How did this Attorney General know about the existence of the report?
Can you share that report? Is it possible?
It is not a problem. The point is that the Attorney
General... And the date on which it was done.
Paul, the Attorney General of the day cannot claim that he didn't know that a report like that existed. So, in fact, what they actually saying is then that they didn't even investigate the claims against Amitama, which is even worse.
No, but maybe you should call the Attorney General and ask him that. The government minister says you were aware of a report. He says I'm not aware of a report.
What you are saying has grave implications for the competence of the
Attorney General.
No,
but he's telling me directly.
No, so what you are saying is that as Attorney General, as President, there were such grave allegations of environmental terrorism against a party chairman whom you had given a lease to operate in the forest reserve and didn't investigate it.
No, you are saying two things. You see,
I'm not saying
you are a government minister.
I'm telling you
that there is a CID report.
I'm telling you for a fact that there is a CID report
which was given to the former Attorney General
2022
and handed over to the Akufo-Addo administration.
Given to government, which they didn't act on.
Yeah, but no, please let's be clear on that.
So
given to Attorney General, government, Jubilee House, who got the report and did not act on it.
I'm saying that the government of the day, the Attorney General, cannot claim that he doesn't know about it.
He's claiming precisely so.
The implication of what you are saying is that he was not fit for his office. And that indeed,
but you have to provide evidence that he got it.
By inaction, he was complicit in Galamsey. By inaction.
Oh, but that's unfair. That's really unfair.
I'm saying
that's really unfair.
No. Listen to my words carefully.
The Attorney General says he hasn't received any CID report.
Listen to my words carefully. I'm saying by inaction. I'm not saying that he's involved in Galamsey.
Why is the inaction?
The inaction is that there's an allegation. What he's saying means that he was not concerned. Okay? He was not concerned that a known figure in Ghanaian society, you even forget about the fact that he was MPP, a known figure in Ghanaian society, who had received a mining lease on the say-so of the president, had gone into the forest area, which is a protected zone, and carried out unlawful mining activity, which was deleterious to the environment. And he couldn't be bothered.
How couldn't he be bothered?
By what you say
he couldn't be bothered?
If he was bothered, first of all, he has the power as Attorney General. Why? Dr. Ini. We woke
up talking about a dereliction of duty or a report that came to him?
It is. He is claiming the dereliction of duty. But
I said he didn't receive report.
But by saying so, he is claiming the dereliction of. It was his duty to look into that matter. The same way Dr. Ini, when reports emerged that 2 NDC executives were involved in Galamsey, we woke up one morning, we heard him clearly direct Yoko to look into. As I speak to you, Yoko is looking into the matter.
But that's what the civil society was asking President Mahama.
No. Paul, if you let me land.
I thought you had landed.
If you let me land. I'm not landed. Moro, the point I'm making is that there's a CID report that the government was aware of. They didn't act. They concealed it. And there's
but you don't have evidence of that. I'm sorry, Minister. You really can't say that.
No.
You have to provide evidence to the press.
Paul, what you are canvassing is even worse than what I'm saying. What you are saying, that President Akufo-Addo.
No, you are making a valid statement that something happened.
I am.
And you are not able to defend it that it happened.
When the police CID work, they work up to the Attorney General.
Yes,
in fact, until recently, I didn't know that when it comes to investigations, it is actually the Attorney General who has jurisdiction over CID, not the Interior Minister. Godfrey Dami cannot claim that he was not aware of it. What he is saying,
he's claiming so that he's not aware of it.
Then I'm asking Metro TV
to perhaps contact the Attorney General and tell him that the government minister says he's aware of the report.
That is why I'm saying that by implication, through inaction, that he was complicit in Galamsey. I'm not saying that he was involved in Galamsey.
This is shifting the goalposts. I'm
not, but I'm telling you that it also speaks to the lack of seriousness on the part of your government. The same party.
But that's shifting the goalposts.
I'm not shifting the goalposts.
You said there's a report they ignored. If they said they didn't see it, then they were complicit.
The charges.
Why are you picking and choosing?
Listen. I'm not beginning to this.
It's clearly shifting the goalposts.
It is that you are intentionally refusing to let me make my point.
Please make your point.
Because you know that I'm making the point.
Please make the point.
There are 2 things. You are president. A controversy ensues. Indeed, this is a controversy that the president publicly spoke to. He told us that the matter was being looked into. Who was looking into the matter? It's police CID.
Your point is, so Felix, your point is that
it's not only police CID who is looking into the matter. When the president says a matter is being looked at, it could be Yoko. It could be police CID.
Who looked into the matter?
It could be the committee from the Attorney General's
Office. Who looked into the matter?
I don't know. You say that there's the CID report.
So you're saying that it is not possible for the CID to have looked into this matter without the Attorney General's department.
How is that possible?
Not knowing anything about it.
When the president
says, that's what he's trying to say. The Attorney General says that nothing of the sort came to his desk.
So
he must show it.
How do you explain it?
Explain what?
Especially when, if you let me land, I'm on the floor.
How do you know CID was working on something?
I'm not saying
I'm the one on the floor.
No, how do you know that CID was working on it?
Based on what he's saying.
No, based on what he's saying. It could have been Yoko. It could have been CID. There are many investigative authorities.
No, he mentioned CID.
He's not providing the evidence for that. He's not able to.
I'm taking it based on what he said.
What he said he's not able to provide evidence. When you ask him to shift the goalposts to dereliction of duty, he talks about a report that is available. That tells us there's no report. There's there's dereliction of duty.
The reason why,
and that you're complicit in Galamsey.
True inaction. You see, again, if you let me land, just hold your horses and let me land. 2 issues have emerged.
Yes.
When the Akonta mining incident occurred, Moro, Paul, you know for a fact that President Akufo-Addo publicly spoke to it. He was the one who told us that the matter is being looked into, right?
Yes.
You are saying that you don't know which specific agency. So
he didn't say. The president didn't say.
So who was looking into it?
It could have been Yoko.
I'm telling you that you can now tell us.
Yes, I have. So you are not confirming.
No. Listen.
That is the CID.
It is the CID that looked into it.
Fair enough. And you said the report went to the Attorney General. The Attorney General says there's no such report.
Number two, when the CID finished, that report exists. The government didn't act. And it is not the first time. Professor Frimpong Boateng's report. Don't you know that it was concealed for several years after he had presented it to President Akufo-Addo?
Who said that?
Professor Boateng himself said it.
He himself said it?
He himself said it. Indeed.
Okay. So you believe Frimpong Boateng?
Oh, but why
Charles Bissiou, the secretary, says Frimpong Boateng's statement is not correct. Charles Bissiou, this week, he's the secretary to the committee. He says Frimpong Boateng's report is not correct.
Why should we take the secretary's word and leave the word of the chairperson, the person that the president
Charles says he did the report?
But Moro, why are you interrupting?
This is Moro.
Professor Boateng, he was the environment minister. President Akufo-Addo charged him directly to oversee the fight against Galamsey. The man compiles a report, presents it to the president, in which he names names. This report was concealed from you and I. It was not government that put it out. It was the media that leaked that report.
What's the consequence?
The consequence is that you have a history of concealing reports that indict your people. And I'm telling you that the CID, as far back as 2022, had this report. When the president said it was being looked into, it was the CID that was looking into it.
Okay, let's see what happens with the Joseph Yami report.
It doesn't matter.
And then we can. It matters.
No,
because it's the same vein. And the civil society were concerned that at your press meeting, at your meeting with society, Kenashibwe was concerned. He called the elephant in the room. He said, you, Felix, and the president have ignored the elephant in the room, which is Yami. That's what he said.
The elephant in the room was Akufo-Addo and the MPP.
Akufo and MPP are out of power.
But if you let me land, Paul, when you were speaking, I kept quiet for you. I disagree with your points.
Fair enough.
The elephant in the room
is Yamin.
Was that Akufo-Addo and his party, the MPP, found Galamsey as a source of funding. So they were complicit and were not prepared to fight it. It is the reason why they were concealing every important report from the people of Ghana.
I think that's an interesting point.
It's an interesting point. Number two.
I thought I was going to say something.
Unlike you, President Mahama, nobody came to compel him to commission an investigation into Yamin and Abanga. You woke up one day and the Attorney General had instructed Yoko that based on the reports that he had received about the alleged involvement of these gentlemen in Galamsey, it should be looked into. In fact, he disclosed only last week that not only is Yoko acting on the reports that had initially been received, and that once they started, several other stakeholders had slapped in what they say is further evidence of the involvement of these gentlemen in Galamsey. And so the investigation has actually been brought in. When it is completed, he will present the report to President Mahama. And I can assure you that if such a report ever gets to President Mahama, it will not be concealed in the manner that President Akufo-Addo did. So when I speak about feigned outreach, and the reason why the MPP needs to be dismissed when they purport to be concerned about Galamsey, these are the actions that we have factored into the analysis. They were never concerned. Listen, they were never concerned about Galamsey. For them, it was a means of enrichment. And I'm on record to have said, I said it on Newsfile, they play it again today, that there were greedy, money-loving men in that party who saw Galamsey as a source of quick wealth. And therefore, there was no commitment on the part of the president, his government, and the party. That has changed. I told you only a while ago, that's what President Mahama, he won't even allow an appointee of his to be involved in lawful mining, let alone illegal mining.
Have licenses been issued this year?
There are licenses that you issued last year.
Yes, have there been licenses issued this year?
Listen. What licenses did President Akufo-Addo, President Mahama speak about? He spoke about licenses into forest reserves. When we came to power, sometime in 2024, you had issued a lease to a company to mine in a forest reserve. Once you issue the lease, there are consequential actions, such as an entry permit, which the Minerals Commission and the Forest Commission are obliged to give to the company that you had lawfully committed us to. Because if you don't do that, it's breach of contract. So there's no wrongdoing.
By so completing, have been issued this year by the John Mahama government.
Of course, but again, listen. Licenses are issued to lawful mining companies, not Galamsey. Galamsey don't require licenses.
So why is the Galamsey increasing?
Galamsey has not increased. I have given you empirical evidence. You are shooting off the hip.
The Chief Justice was wrong, right?
I beg you, please. Again, let me land. You see, the Chief Justice, the Catholic Bishops Conference, civil society, they are all concerned about Galamsey. If there are a flurry of reports of river bodies turning murky, they reserve the right to express their concern. They may believe in the instant circumstance that there is an increase. But I have given you empirical evidence of the global picture of Galamsey as we inherited it and the gains made so far. So what any objective analyst does is to compare the facts as they exist now against what existed under the NPP and draw a conclusion. The conclusion is that there have been incremental gains, but it is not sufficient to overcome.
So the problem has not increased.
It has not increased.
The stability of the water has definitely increased.
You don't measure the incidence of Galamsey by just the stability of water. Because Galamsey doesn't take place only in riverine areas. It takes place in forest reserves.
So what do we do with the stability of the water going up? What do we do with that fact?
Relax. Paul, what is going to happen? And indeed, when the gentleman from the Water Resources Commission appeared last Friday on the CSO platform of the president, he gave you evidence that in areas where NIMOS has intensified operations and is rounding up Galamseyers and disrupting the activity, there is clear improvement in the stability levels, which then suggests that if they intensify it and reach every corner of this country where Galamsey is taking place, it is only a matter of time before the stability levels increase. But that is only one place where Galamsey is taking place. No, listen. It is better than it was under you.
Okay.
But it is not at the level where we can be satisfied with. Right. No way.
Okay.
But I'm saying that you must also factor in the gains made in forest reserve, because that's also another area.
Okay.
There, under your government, Paul, bandits, terrorists held sway. The government of Ghana was shut out of its own territory. Okay. Now we have repossessed those, and they cannot go back. That is clear, measurable improvement.
Let me read this message. It's a very, very important message, and let me bring it. I'm sure that it would help with the analysis of this conversation on Galamsey. So Kwame Sapon of the CDD, he's big on health. He's a health practitioner. He says, I'm one of the petitioners in the Wontumi and Akonta mining matter from 2022. I can confirm that as far back as mid-2023, we, the petitioners, knew there was a CID report. As a result, we sent a number of reminders to the police CID. Now, if the former Attorney General is saying he wasn't aware after the report has now surfaced, that is a serious indictment. That's what Kwame Sapon said.
But can the report be published by government?
He's so surprised that he said he was aware.
No, when people occupy government positions, and we just believe that they will demonize them, it's very unfair. Okay. This is a person who was the principal legal advisor to the government. And if there was a CID report and he saw it, and he says today that, please let me finish.
This is a man who was prepared to take people sitting at an NDC office discussing a response to Ayo Asuwe's Wogon to court. This was a man who was part of the team. I'm coming. This was a man who was part of the team that took Opuni to court. And one of the things against Opuni was that he had taken 25,000 cedis from her. Well, you know Opuni very well that 25,000 cedis is chicken change. Yeah. They took him to court over this. You are telling me that if they were really...
You are questioning the integrity of the Attorney General.
Of course. Why not? Listen. Why not? Listen. Right. If indeed he meant business about dealing with Galamsey as a principal law enforcement officer of Ghana, as Dr. Ayini is now, and he has heard about multiple reports of Wuntumi's alleged involvement in Galamsey through Akonta mining in the forest reserves, and the president has publicly declared that there was an investigation, how can he now come and claim that he's unaware of this investigation?
Okay. He's not aware of the CID report. It doesn't mean he's not aware of it. There could
have been investigation was there. It should come in the last investigation.
But you are in government. You are telling us that the investigation was by CID.
The people who actually petitioned.
Felix, I believe you. When will you produce the CID report?
Listen, the CID report has manifested in charges in court. When they go to court, they will base their prosecution.
So we should expect that in court there will be that CID report.
Let me say one thing about Parliament. You heard the Attorney General publicly say this.
Okay, fair enough. In the last Parliament, in the last Parliament, the same Godfrey Dami they are talking about lacking integrity, etc., went to Parliament with the CI to repeal LI 2462, the one we are talking about. There was a CI laid in Parliament
last year.
Yes, by Godfrey Dami. To repeal that one.
Which part?
Because of
which part was repealed?
So to repeal the entire law.
But so how come they are calling for the repeal of the law was repealed?
Fair enough. No, it wasn't repealed. He laid the CI, and because of that Parliament frustration, you remember how Parliament used to be. It wasn't repealed. Now it's a record in Parliament. You can check.
Now after that law, it's been amended.
NDC has come to power.
Yes, we'll repeal it when Parliament resumes.
It's important. NDC has come to power since the beginning of the year. They have not repealed this. Civil society is the one asking them to repeal. I like what Felix says, that MPP does not have the right to speak about Galamsey because they themselves were
no,
perpetrating.
you have a right to speak about anything, but we can question your sincerity. That's
yes,
what
they themselves are perpetrators of Galamsey, and therefore they don't have the right.
It's not in my mouth to grant you.
I think that is not correct, because you see, when we talk about problems, when we talk about problems of Ghanaians,
no, it's not about
it's about the work that we are doing for Ghanaians.
I can question your
It's not
sincerity.
MPP and DC. Ghanaians are worried about Galamsey and the stability of the water. The fact that the water that they drink is terrible.
About it.
The fact that there's lead in their contumely. That's what Ghanaians are worried about. And if the government's response is that, yes, MPP, you can talk about it. Why are you not doing the same thing? I think that we are debasing the politics. Politics is there. No, he said that MPP is not qualified to talk about Galamsey. It shouldn't even come.
He says he's questioning the sincerity.
But it shouldn't even come from government. Government is there to solve problems, not to question the sincerity of a group of people about discussing problems that concern Ghanaians.
If you grant me the space. First of all, I, as a government actor, fully aware of your complicity in the matter, have a right to raise it when you purport to be taking offense at the same thing you were doing. Number two, on this platform, I have repeated multiple times that the Chief Justice that he mentioned, the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Ken Ashigbe and his CSO friends, the media, everybody else who has raised concern has legitimate basis for doing so. I have gone ahead to tell you what we have done, but I have pointed out that you, who seeks to take political advantage of it, are bereft of the right to do so because you were complicit. Indeed, Galamsey is a major problem now.
You can't take political advantage. How are you going to take political advantage? You can't take political advantage.
Is it not political advantage?
No,
listen, let me
political advantage is not taken. I am able to. It is given.
Listen.
Political advantage is not taken. It's given.
I am able to see.
You can't take it.
I am able to see that the MPP, at least their leadership, are not commenting on this Galamsey problem because they care about it. They think that it gives them vindication for their inaction. That's all.
Okay.
Based on what I know and the fact about
the issue is
that's
solve the problem that Ghanaians are facing.
Like we have been able to take away the 9 forest reserves from the bandits that you allowed.
Okay.
But like you have not been able to repeal the law.
We have actually amended the law. It would repeal the parliament.
Why didn't you repeal it?
But you had 8 years to do so. You didn't do it. We are doing it in months.
But you said that you would do it in a week.
We didn't say we would do it in a week.
Sam George sat on this chair.
Sam George is not President Mahama.
Oh, that's so.
President Mahama's word.
The last minister, Ama Kofi Boa, said state of emergency.
Again, President Mahama, his word binds the NDC. This is our manifesto.
Not Sam George.
Please, I beg you. This is our manifesto.
Fair enough.
It is what we say here. And what the president says as the...
Senor Jose,
yes,
Senor Jose, I'm
all.
sorry to use his word, he called it nonsense. That
no
somebody
problem.
comes to tell him
no problem.
that
he has
President
a right.
Mahama didn't say that he will do a state of emergency.
Moro, again,
I'm sorry to use that word.
Again, Senor can describe it in any term he wants. I can also say that I disagree with him based on the objective fact, objective reality. Right, so let there be no doubt about this. Yeah, all right.